Welcome students, Flamingo chapter number 1, the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. This particular chapter has been framed with the background of war between France and Prussia. There has been various instances in history where such things have happened, that one country has conquered some districts or some parts of another country. And when they know that this territory has come under their control, they try to control it completely. But very rarely in history has this happened, that one country has controlled another country's territory and tried to impose their language upon their country. This has been built or explained in this chapter, the last lesson. The war was between France and Prussia. Prussia won 2 districts of France, Alsace and Lorraine. And as they passed into the Prussian hands, they passed an order. The order came from Berlin, and the order stated that from the next year onwards, the medium of instruction in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine would be replaced by German. I mean, French would be replaced with German language. So these people of the village, Alsace and Lorraine, they felt very bad. They were in fact shocked and astonished that their mother tongue was snatched away in this way in fact. So the background of the chapter is war, and the chapter is based on linguistic chauvinism. What do you mean by the word chauvinism? Chauvinism means exaggerated pride over something that we have, that we consider ourselves to be superior and we consider the other person to be inferior. If you add another word to it, like if I say male chauvinism, that means that pride over being a male, that you belittle the other gender. If I add the word linguistic chauvinism, it means that pride over my language, that I consider my language to be superior, and I try in fact to say everybody or tell everybody that my language is superior to you. The same thing happened in this chapter. The Prussians thought that their language was far superior to French. That's why they imposed their language on the French people. They wanted to rule their heart and mind in the form of controlling their language. So the background of the chapter is war. The basis of the chapter, the theme of the chapter is linguistic chauvinism. But the chapter comes with a very strong message, and that message is that anytime anybody can snatch our mother tongue from us, so we need to be attached to our mother tongue. And with this, and the second message is procrastination of language. Never postpone the learning of your language. We call it procrastination, means postponement. Never postpone the learning of your language, because any fine day it can happen that anybody can snatch our language from us. So this is this whole chapter about. The chapter is narrated through a little boy, Franz. He was one of the residents of Alsace village, Alsace district, and this boy was going to school unaware of what has happened around. And as he was going to school, he wondered why there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board, why people were commenting everything. He reached school, he found there was a complete change, and then his teacher announced that it was the last day of French lesson. His whole emotions have come up in this chapter, the last lesson, and all the emotions of a teacher who was teaching French language from the past 40 years. So this has been shown in this particular chapter, the last lesson. It was the last lesson of French. So let's begin, and the chapter begins with the form that Franz was going to school unaware of what has happened and what was the order from Berlin. So let us see. The first question that comes in the mind is, that day Franz was late to school and he was afraid to go to school. Why was Franz afraid to go to school? Let us see it. I started for school very late that morning and was in a great dread of scolding, especially because M. Hamel had said that he would question us on participles. M. Hamel is the teacher here. So we'll have to every time write M. Hamel, because this word M stands for monsieur. In French, they address gents as monsieur and ladies as mademoiselle. So here you find that monsieur, the small form, the short form is M. So we'll write, M. Hamel had said that he would question us on participles, and I did not know the first word about them. For a moment I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. So why was Franz afraid to go to school? First, he was already late. Second, he was in a great dread of being scolded because the teacher was very strict. And the teacher said, I would question you on participles, and Franz had not learned the rules of participles. So he was very afraid. And the third thought that came in his mind, today I'll not go to school. But still you'll see he resisted that temptation. Not a shirker, having a very strong willpower, he reached school. But there were many things which were tempting him. Which were those things? Let us see. It was so warm, so bright. The brightness of the day, the warmth of the day was tempting him. The birds were chirping at the edge of the woods, and in the open field back of the sawmill, the Prussian soldiers were drilling. It was all much more tempting than the rules for participles, but I had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. So which things were tempting Franz? The warmth of the day, the chirping of the birds, and the drill of the Prussian soldiers. So we have done 2 questions over here. Why was Franz afraid to go to school that day? Which things tempted Franz from going to school? The next thing, he saw a crowd in front of the bulletin board. So why was there a crowd in front of the bulletin board usually, and why was the crowd there that day? There are 2 questions. So let us see why was there a usual crowd. Okay. When I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there. They did not have newspapers and all. So there was a central building which they call the town hall. Outside there was a bulletin board, and on that the news would be put. He said all bad news came from there. Bad news, they lost the battle. Every bad news, Franz said, or bad news only come from there. Then the lost battles, the draft, the order of the commanding officer. And I thought to myself without stopping, what can be the matter now? He said, now we have lost our motherland, everything we have lost. What is the matter now? What has happened? Okay. Then, so when I said there are 2 questions here, why was there a crowd usually in front of the bulletin board? That answer is given. Why was the crowd there that day? This answer is given afterwards. So I'll tell you where it is, because the order from Berlin, announcement made by M. Hamel, and this crowd in front of the bulletin board, the reason, all answers would be same. Now here what happened, as he was going, one person commented. There was a blacksmith standing, and see his comment and see what was Franz's feelings about it. Let's see. Then as I hurried by as fast as I could go, the blacksmith, who was there with his apprentice, read the bulletin board, called after me. Sorry, reading the bulletin board, called after me. Don't go so fast, Bub. You'll get to school in plenty of time. He was reading the bulletin board. That means he has already read the order from Berlin. He said, there's no need to go so fast. There's plenty of time. Now Franz thought he's making fun of me because I'm already late. He's telling me there's no need to go so fast. There's plenty of time. But actually the truth is, he was reading the bulletin board. So he has read the news. So he said, there's no need of going now, because tomorrow onwards you have to study in German. So now, I thought he was making fun of me, and reached M. Hamel's little garden all out of breath. And as he reached school that day, he found the whole atmosphere had completely changed. So the next question that is there is, what was the usual atmosphere of the school? So let us see it. Usually when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out the streets. One thing is there, students, that when we say normal atmosphere of this school, normal atmosphere of every school is the same. Is a sound. So great bustle. So hustle and bustle, we use it together. So there is only sound there. There was a great bustle which could be heard out in the streets. The opening and closing of desks, lessons repeated in unison. Like you must have seen, children are made to stand and they speak the tables together or the poems together. So that way, that was the usual atmosphere. Very loud, with the hands over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. This question has come 2 times in the board exam, so you need to be careful here. What was the usual atmosphere of the school? A great bustle which could be heard in the streets, the opening and closing of desks, the lessons repeated in unison. Then we used to keep our ears on the hands on our ears to listen better, and the teacher's rapping ruler on the table. See the changes, and it's a 5-mark question this year. Earlier it was asked as a 6-mark question. So there are 5 points to the next answer. What were the changes that day? 2 years back this particular thing came. What were the changes in the school? So let us see the 5 changes. Now it was all so still. Everything was just silent, still. I had counted upon the commotion to get to my desk without being seen, but of course that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. He said there would be commotion in the class. I'll go inside the class, nobody would see me. But when he reached, he found that everything was as quiet as Sunday morning. Reason? People were shocked. Nobody was speaking. It was as silent as Sunday morning. Through the window, I saw my classmates already in their places, and M. Hamel walking up and down with this terrible iron ruler under his arm. Franz was dead afraid of the teacher's ruler. He was very strict. Said, today my teacher is going to beat me. What happened was something unusual. And what was that? I had to open the door before everybody. You can imagine how I blushed and how frightened it was. Blushing because he was embarrassed. Everybody was looking at him. And frightened, why? He was so late and the teacher had the ruler under his arm. Said, he's going to beat me. Then something unusual, but nothing happened. M. Hamel saw me and said very kindly, go to your place quickly, little Franz. We were beginning without you. In the same chapter, he called the teacher strict and cranky. The same teacher was so polite. He said, what has happened to the teacher? So polite. He said, little Franz, we are going to begin without you. He said, what has happened? He's so polite today. And then he noticed something else also. What was that? I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt and the little black silk cap all embroidered. He was wearing a frilled shirt, he was wearing this green coat, and he was wearing a black silk cap with embroidery, and he used to wear this dress on prize and inspection days. He said, what is there today? There is no inspection, there is no prize ceremony. Why is my teacher wearing a special dress today? He doesn't know. This little boy is unaware of what has happened. Okay, so now, embroidered that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Old Hauser with his three-cornered hat, the former mayor, the former postmaster and several others besides. Everybody was sad, and Hauser had brought an old primer. There's an old man Hauser sitting there, and he had a primer in the hand. Primer is that book which is given to us as the primary book, the first book in our hands, which has alphabets, which has numbers, that. So if he was sitting with the primer in the hand, do you think so he ever went to school? If he had gone to school, he would have had the book in the hand, book of language. But there he had the primer, so he was regretting, maybe that's why he brought the primer there. Then thumbed at the edges. The primer was so old that the pages had been thumbed, they had been folded. From a long time it had not been used then. And he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the pages. So if you are asked what were the changes, first change, the school was as silent as Sunday morning, no hustle, no bustle, no opening of desks, nothing. Then the classmates were already seated and Franz felt embarrassed in growing in front of them. Third, the teacher was unusually polite. Then fourth, the teacher was wearing a special dress. Fifth, everybody seemed to be sad and solemn. And the last thing, the villagers were seated at the back benches. I told you there are 5 points here. You get all those 5 points. Now students, comes the most important thing, the announcement made by M. Hamel or the order from Berlin. Answer is the same. So let us see what was the announcement and what was the effect on Franz of that announcement. These two questions also have come frequently in the board exam. So let us see here. While I was wondering about it all, M. Hamel mounted his chair, sat on his chair, and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me, grave, serious, he said, my children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last lesson. I want you to be very attentive. This is where the teacher made an announcement. What was the announcement? It was their last lesson of French. From the next year onwards, they had to study German. The new master was coming and M. Hamel was going. This was the announcement. Then, see the effects. The first effect, what a thunderclap these words for me. Thunderclap, a huge shock, like a bolt from the blue. And Franz was shocked. What has happened? They've suddenly taken my language away from me. So first emotion, huge shock. Then, oh the wretches. Then he understood, okay, this was what was written on the bulletin board. Oh the wretches, that was what they had put up at the town hall. My last French lesson. Why? I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons. He felt a regret. Felt so sorry. Why I did not pay attention to my language? For seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the sar. Sar is the slide that we say. He said, I did other things rather than paying attention to my language. So his whole regret was seen, that he was feeling so sorry from inside. Then his view towards his books changed. How? Just see. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry. You ask any student, the child will say, oh, the bag is so heavy. Books become a burden for children. The same books now, such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry. My grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now. The same books had become like old friends that I couldn't give up. Okay. And M. Hamel too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about the ruler and how cranky he was. Here comes the word. He thought the teacher to be cranky. Now his view towards his teacher changed. So what were the effects? First, a huge shock. Second, a regret. Third, his view towards his books changed. And fourth, his view towards his teacher changed. And see the words that he used for the teacher. See the words there. Poor man. Poor man out of sympathy. And he says, poor man. It was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. So this question can also be asked. Which special dress was M. Hamel wearing and why? And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. This question was asked this year also. Were sitting there in the back of the room. It was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. And you will be asked a question, why were the villagers seated on the back benches? Reason this. They never went to school. This was their effort to show respect to the teacher, their effort to show respect towards their country, their effort to show respect towards the language. So here I am ending this particular session. We have done the questions. Why was Franz afraid to go to school? Which things were tempted Franz from going to school? Why was there usually a crowd in front of the bulletin board? Why was the crowd that day? What was the remark of the blacksmith, and how did Franz take that remark? What was the usual atmosphere of the school? What were the changes that day? Then why were the villagers seated on the back benches? This was also there. Then what was the announcement made by M. Hamel, and why M. Hamel, what was the effect of that announcement on France? Okay, we are ending the session here. Thank you.